mosquitoes and worms, bacteria and mushrooms, oaks and flamingos, whales, lotuses and capybaras. Before anything, I'm just trying to paint on your minds the colors of this session. An ecosystem's strength resides in its diversity. And today, we're strong, here at Change Now and here at Collective Stage. We've been celebrating the 10 years of the Paris Agreement. We're still hanging on to it. Unfortunately, things have evolved a bit. And we're not only thinking about a climate-focused only approach, but we're trying to take into account every aspect of our connection to nature and to the living. I'm Jimena Morales Velasco, and today we'll explore how to tackle biodiversity loss and engage decision-making actors and civil society in the protection of all kinds of ecosystems. With no further ado, it's an honor for me to introduce the opening speaker of this session, the youngest speaker at Change Now 2025, India's youngest fruit forest creator, and youngest delegate at the UNFCCC, the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, 12-year-old environmentalist and author, Prasiddhi Singh. Please give her a warm welcome. The stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible? All good? Yes? So just to normalize a little bit before I get started, I'm going to say change and, oh, thank you. I'm going to say change and you're going to say now, okay? We'll just do it 3 times. Change? 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 Amazing. Brilliant. So it's about, can I have my presentation? Brilliant. I'm Prasiddhi, and I don't know how many of you know about Zen Alpha, but that's the generation after Gen Z. And I come from that because I'm 12 years old. And it's a beautiful Saturday, and it's about 3:20 or so right now at Paris, at the Change Now Summit. And now you might be thinking, why am I telling the time? The reason is, at the very same time, somewhere high above the bustling lanes of Mumbai, India, lives a little girl named Anaya, who's leaning over the balcony of a 25th floor apartment. And her eyes go on a rose-ringed parakeet looking straight at her. She wonders where it might go next, but at that very same time, her elder sister calls from the living room. Netflix binge time, and that very moment, she forgets the bird and goes inside. At the same time, up high in Norway, Tromsø, where it's also 3:20 p.m., a little boy in woolen socks named Jonas is pressing his nose to a frosted window, looking at the melting snow reveal green moss and frozen berries. He wonders about it, and he grabs his mittens to run outside, but his elder brother is already saying, "Come help me film this new reel," and he stays back inside as well. Meanwhile, in New York City, USA, where an 8-year-old girl named Alia is riding in the back seat of her cab, staring at the sycamore trees shredding their golden leaves. She wonders and asks, how do trees know when to let go? But her father couldn't answer because he was talking deep in a meeting in his mobile phone. And her question is left unanswered. And finally, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where it's 10:30 a.m., Mateo sits quietly by the riverbank, building boats from banana leaves, imagining the fish below and the wind above. Before he could continue, her aunt from the porch says, "While your show's starting, let's switch on the tablet." He hesitates for a bit and goes inside. Across different countries, time zones, and languages, children pause. They connect, they notice, and they wonder with nature, even if just for a single moment. But something pulls them away. Not because they don't care, but because the world around them doesn't care enough. You say you want to raise a generation that will look after the planet, but are you teaching us a life that lives with the planet? The truth is simple. We as children don't learn from what you say. We learn from what you do. And remember, as children, we don't need to be taught how to love nature. We are born with that love. What we need is the permission to keep it. Across all the 4 stories, whether it was Alia, Matteo, Jonas, or Anaya, they all had a deep connection with biodiversity. Because whether it was the rose-ringed parakeet, the sycamore tree, the frozen berries, or the banana leaves, nature has been, us as children, our best friends since the very beginning. And that's when I come to think about it, that what are we actually doing to our planet? For centuries now, ever since it was first created in the year 1934 by Simon Kuznets, our only definition of success has been GDP, gross domestic product growth. It has been the way we define our planet. It has been our long-defined way of doing that. And here's what happened. Forests have fallen, oceans have risen, temperatures have surged, all in the name of so-called progress. But imagine a world where success is not defined by what we extract, but by what we restore. Where a flourishing forest counts more than a fossil fuel fortune, where thriving societies, circular economies, biodiversity, and empowered communities matter more than quarterly profits. This is redefining success, the need of the hour. Because this shift isn't a dream, it's a necessity. Something we all need deeply. Success is a child growing up without inhaling smoke. It's communities thriving. It's a planet that lives happily and in coexistence with nature. For me, I think that for way too long, adults have defined success with wealth and control, power and competition. Maybe, just maybe, to save our future, we need to see our planet from a child's eyes. We need to look at it differently. And to do that, let me plug in a small documentary created by National Geographic about my journey. Can we have the video, please?
Sunday is my favorite day of the week. हम सुबह सुबह सब्जी मंडी जाते हैं। मेरे पेरेंट्स तो यहाँ इसलिए आते हैं क्योंकि फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स यहाँ पे बहुत ही फ्रेश मिलते हैं। पर मेरी जिद कुछ और है। वो कहते हैं कि बच्चों को बेकार की जिद नहीं करनी चाहिए, पर हम मानने वाले कहाँ।
ग्रीटिंग्स, नमस्ते एंड वनक्कम। मेरा नाम प्रसिद्धि सिंह है, मैं 10 साल की हूँ और मैंने ठान लिया है कि मैं इस प्लैनेट को प्रोटेक्ट करूँगी।
कुछ 6-7 साल पहले की बात है, तब शायद मैं किंडरगार्टन में पढ़ती थी। एक दिन सुबह उठी तो बहुत जोर से हवा चल रही थी। मम्मी ने बोला आज स्कूल नहीं जाना है, आज साइक्लोन आ रहा है, स्कूल्स, ऑफिसेस सब बंद है। पहले तो मैं बहुत खुश हुई कि आज पूरा दिन घर में मस्ती। लेकिन फिर मैं सोचने लगी, जिन लोगों के पास घर नहीं है वो कहाँ जाएंगे? ये जानवर, ये बर्ड्स, ये सब लोग क्या करेंगे?
साइक्लोन के जाने के बाद मैंने देखा कि कुछ पेड़ जैसे कि आम, कोकोनट और नीम वो तब भी स्ट्रॉन्ग खड़े रहे।
फिर मैं समझी कि जो नेटिव पेड़ है, इनकी रूट्स बहुत डीप जाती हैं और ये पेड़ एक नेचुरल बैरियर बन जाते हैं। फिर बस मिल गया इन साइक्लोन से बचने का एक रास्ता। फिर जब मैं 6 साल की हुई तो मैंने ठान लिया कि मैं पेड़ लगाऊंगी। 1 नहीं, 2 नहीं, पूरे 1 लाख पेड़ लगाऊंगी और इस प्लैनेट को ग्रीन बनाऊंगी। लेकिन क्या बड़े लोग एक 6 साल की बच्ची की बात सुनेंगे? हाँ, क्यों नहीं? अगर वो बच्ची जिद पे उतर आए तो जरूर सुनूंगी। ये तो एक शुरुआत है। धीरे धीरे चारों तरफ ट्री प्लांटेशंस करवाने, पूरे वर्ल्ड में। मुझे कई बार लोगों ने बोला कि पढ़ाई और फ्यूचर पे ध्यान दो, पर क्या ये पेड़ मेरा फ्यूचर नहीं है? वो कहते हैं कि बच्चों को बेकार की जिद नहीं करनी चाहिए, पर मेरी ये छोटी सी जिद ही तो मेरी सबसे बड़ी ताकत है।
So that was a little bit about my journey, and because it was in Hindi, let me also tell you myself a little bit about it. I'm 12 years old, and I have not just come here as a speaker, but as a curious child who dares to ask questions and never stops listening to nature. Yes, that's how I would like to tell about myself. From always, since a very young age, I know I'm still young, but since the very beginning, I have always loved nature, whether it was admiring the local Indian Jezebel butterflies on our periwinkle flowers, or admiring the Bay of Bengal's waves, or this is a picture of me near our local golden shower tree enjoying a flower shower. Nature has been my best friend and my biggest source of inspiration. But in the year 2016, when Varda cyclone hit the shore of Tamil Nadu, India, where I live, the impacts were so dramatic because it didn't just uproot trees, it uprooted my dear green friends. But instead of fear, I found a question inside me. What can I do for Prakriti Mama? Prakriti Mama is my way of calling Mother Nature. And while others moved on, I decided to participate in tree plantation drives. And I did that. I learned from experts, I learned from villagers about traditional techniques, and I did it myself. And after doing it for 2 good years, at the age of 6, in the year 2018 came a turning point when I decided that I want to plant 100,000 trees. Yes, 100,000. There was actually this person who said, Prasiddhi, do you even know how many zeros are there in that? That was how I started, but I'd already begun, so I didn't really care. The truth is that my journey as a young environmentalist has never been easy. Because often people till today underestimate me and say that I'm too young to make a difference. I imagined things, I wanted to do things, and often they didn't happen the way I wanted it to work out. But here's the thing about me. While I felt too small in a world that was too big for me to change, I've been a problem solver. So when I saw that children, schools, rural schools in rural areas were lacking access to climate education, I decided that I will create green brigades, yes, in all the schools, where I gave each child a sapling and also hands-on training in their local language, and even created native fruit forests in their school compounds. And it wasn't just my project. I got a policy letter enacted by the authority in the entire region, and it has already started in 200+ rural schools. When I saw that farmers, either because of poverty or migration or lack of knowledge, were struggling in their farming practices, I decided to support them through sustainable farming practices. I decided to do agroforestry with them. And through this, I have empowered more than 5,000+ villagers and farmers, some of them through plantation, others through livelihood, some through education or eco-solutions, making a huge difference on the rural level. After the cyclone, I'm also a very good observer, okay? And I'm looking at all of you, who is listening, who is not listening, who is looking at the phone, who is paying attention. So after the cyclone, I noticed something striking, that the trees which survived were all indigenous native trees. And that's when I decided I will not plant ornamental trees in the name of so-called greening. I will plant trees that actually support biodiversity. And with that, I started restoring forests, planting these trees. And the results speak for themselves. In areas once barren or damaged, I saw nature returning back. Birds, bees, butterflies coming back. You can see a picture over here. This land was actually an industrial patch. And I restored it despite many of the local people saying nothing will grow over here. And today it stands as a huge support system forest for the entire surrounding. And this is just one of the many 100+ places I have regenerated through nature-based solution projects, whether it is agroforestry, lake restoration, mangrove plantation, butterfly gardens, or indigenous tree plantations, empowering and creating a world towards my big dream of a better future. Throughout my journey, there has been something very special. Whenever I would look at a flower or just stop in the middle of walking just to see a little bug or a frog jumping and doing like this, my parents never stopped me. They never distracted me with a phone or sent me off to another class. They gave me the opportunity to continue to connect with nature, and that is what made my bond unbreakable, a bond through which I have been able to continue on this journey of mine. So yes, I planted a tree, then another, and another. What started as a simple mission has now grown into forests, future, and hope. And fast forward to 2025, since that first sapling, I have planted 150,000 trees. In 110 locations and mobilized 80,000 people across 20 countries. Thank you. And this is not just my story. This is the story of every single child who believes in a kinder world, every bee, every river, every mountain, and every forest that gives without asking for anything in return. In my opinion, when we redefine success from the eyes of a child, we begin to value life over luxury. And nowhere is this more important than in how we view biodiversity. Let's be clear, biodiversity isn't a sidekick in this climate saga. It is the main plot. Biodiversity is the very heartbeat of our planet that manages this interconnected balance of all living beings on Earth. And in India, this thrives in our beautiful forests, grasslands, rivers, and mountains. But slowly, these species are vanishing and taking little pieces of ecosystems that my generation or my future generations will never be able to see. Whether it is the great Indian bustard of the grasslands, or if it is the shy red panda of the Himalayas, if it is the lion-tailed macaque of the Western Ghats, or the Ganga River dolphin that makes our ecosystem whole. Every species, though endangered today, is an important part of our planet's puzzle. And their survival is not separate from ours. It is important that we look after them and that we protect them, because biodiversity in today's world is depleting faster than ever. And I feel that this is no longer just an adult problem. It is a human problem. It is a problem now. And children have a powerful role to play in this journey. Obviously, only if you give us a chance, that is, and you stop underestimating our potential. So if you give us an opportunity, we can make a difference, not alone, but together. And I am not waiting to grow up to make change. I'm already leading it, planting forests, empowering communities, spreading the message, learning from the wild, and giving back to it wherever I can. And now I've taken on an even bolder, even bigger, even more ambitious mission. You know what? You want to know about it? Yes. My mission now is to plant 10 million trees. Yes, I know. And trust me, I did 100,000, and I believe, not just in myself, but in Prakriti Mama, Mother Nature, that I'll be able to do it. But guess what? I don't just like to talk and just speak and tell people. I want you to do something. And here's a way you can support me in my mission of planting 10 million trees. Recently, I launched my very new book. It is an illustrated storybook, Prasiddhi's Amazon Rainforest Adventure, that takes you through one of the world's richest ecosystem. It is told by a young explorer with a big dream. And this is a beautiful book. I launched it with the Ministry of Tourism Brazil at COP29. And every book you buy, here's the best part about it. Every book you buy, I will plant one tree for you. So, will you all take it? Yes? Will you all support me in my mission? Look, they already have a copy over there. They're discussing about it. A lot of you already, yes, see? A lot of you already have the copies, and I can't wait for all of those who've missed the opportunity. Quickly grab it before the event concludes. It's right here. An opportunity to support me in my mission. And that's not it. Wait a minute. Change Now has partnered with Prasiddhi Forest Foundation to plant one tree on behalf of each speaker. Yes, one tree on behalf of each speaker. I think that deserves a huge round of applause. Because Change Now isn't just giving a platform to young change makers like me. It is also working towards a real rooted solution, creating impact on the ground. And now, I would like to finally conclude by reciting a poem that I've created that gives you a perspective of redefining success from the eyes of a child. And here it goes. The name of the poem is Prakriti Mama Knows, So Why Don't We? A quick reminder, Prakriti is a Sanskrit word which means nature. So let's do it. Birds don't need passports to fly through the sky. So why do we build borders so high? Trees don't wear watches to know when to grow. So why do we rush wherever we go? The sun gives its warmth at no fee at all. So why is clean energy such a tall call? Mountains don't boast, yet they quietly rise. So why do we measure worth merely through size? Bees don't need permission to dance and to share. So why do we limit those who get to care? Our nature is beautiful. Rain doesn't divide. Rain doesn't fall just on one side. So why do we let wealth divide? Let's hold the earth like a friend, not a prize. Redefine success with imagination. That's right, to make a future even more bright. If you just watched, you too might see the world was meant to live simply. If you just watched, you too might see the world was meant to live simply. Thank you, and namaste from India.